Forgive me, viewers, for it's been months since I last uploaded a video, and even longer since I uploaded one that's in the chronological order of the house. There are excuses for that, none of them are particularly valid, so I won't embarrass myself by using any of them. So you join me in my glamorous Northeast England editing suite, and I have actually done some editing. So to that end, let's roll the title sequence. I'm also going to apologise for this video, which could possibly be the dullest video on YouTube this week. It covers me hanging the radiator in the kitchen, which happened in February 2021, which is over 4 years ago. I finished the kitchen 4 years ago. So yeah, that's another thing to be sorry for, and you might notice a change in the colour of my facial hair. I certainly did. It shocked me. So I'm yet to record the voiceover, so I might be able to redeem it. If you are at all planning on hanging Spanish radiators, this is my first experience of Spanish radiators, as we will find out in the video. Small problems. Anyway, to the video. So we joined the proceedings quite a long way in. So I'm trying to remove the old plugs, and got to the point where I was resorted to heat and a big spanner and a hammer. What I hadn't realised, which I literally have just realised, bear in mind 4 years later, how and why they use these plugs. And yeah, it's like one of them eureka moments. They cast identical elements and then screw them together to how many elements they want to use for that particular size radiator, using, I imagine, threaded inserts the size of the plugs. Now we get involved with the biggest, manliest grips I own, hopefully. And random 30.1 millimeters or whatever it is. Still don't know why the audio is so bad on that camera. Anyway, yes, so one side being left hand, one side being right hand thread, which I hadn't realised at this juncture. Now I did at some point work it out after drilling holes in the plug and struggling for hours. Make you live alone. Man, they are some big rips. Anyway, so yeah, the reason for changing them is I've got a feeling, right, this bottom corner is solid because they have this thing about having the in the bottom and the out in the opposite top corner, leaving that there bottom corner being cold. Yeah, as you can see, holes were drilled, it was mangled. Turns out that this one, right hand thread, was right hand thread. So therefore I was trying to tighten this one up. Hence why I couldn't get it out. A tad annoying, but you know, that doesn't, well, it's not I'm going to reuse it, so it doesn't really matter too much. Better go and see if I can get hold of the right sized plugs. And then I can actually get on with doing the pipe work on this side, off to the Fontaneria. Had some success. Went to the local builders merchant, which is the whole 5-minute walk away, which meant no driving in the ice and snow, and got the correct sized plugs. So now we can get on with redressing the radiator. Oh yeah, happy with that. Hoover up the dust, unwanted dust, and then the out pipe I'm going to bend so it comes under the radiator, so the joint, because let's face it, these multi-capper joints are quite unsightly, so the joint is going to end up hidden behind the radiator, because that's how I roll. Yeah, happy with that. I've learned how to do freeze frames. Ta-da! So in this particular shot we can see over by the ladder the lovely finishing around the various valves for the hot cold water and supply hot and cold supplies to the sink, tap and dishwasher, and also the large amount of snow outside, because Philomena had hit and it snowed for 3 days. I think it's the first time Madrid had seen snow since 1976 or something. Yeah, it's weird how they only have brackets at the top, not down the bottom as well, which is what you'd see in the UK. But anyway, radiators on the wall. Yes, so all the existing radiators in the house only had 2 brackets at the top, which were sunk into the wall and held in with the yeso. Since then, I have fitted about 5 or 6 more radiators and have taken to putting brackets at the bottom as well, rather than relying on the pipe work to hold them in place, like the old boys did. But they were using copper and not this multi-capper, like a multi-layer plastic pipe with the aluminium bit in there. So at this point, somebody didn't check where his camera was pointing. Although to be fair, it's quite hard with whatever camera it was I was using, because these predate the little screen on the front that shows you where it's looking. 40mm setting, or at least try. So yeah, using the spring over the pipe to stop it from kinking. It's not dissimilar from the springs we used to put on the inside of the copper. Yeah, not bad. Pretty much bang on. So this is the first time I'd used these. I've obviously bought several sets of these since. They have a brass insert that goes in the end of the multi-capper plastic / aluminium button, which then the olive then nips up onto, forming a watertight seal. So a bit of guesswork ish, and I'm going to snip the pipe off at the appropriate height ish. Would you believe that there is actually a specific tool to make the pipe round again and flare it ever so slightly to make your life easier? I only discovered this at the start of this year, or the end of last year, rather embarrassingly. I was using screwdrivers and stuff to sort out the end of the pipe. It turns out these are actually a bit of a, once they're in, hence pliers, and there we go. Just a little bit more, and I think in a minute he's going to tweak the set just to bring it in line with the end of the radiator, because he's not quite happy with how that looks, and rightly so, because it's not quite vertical. There we go. We're just going to tweak that way a little bit, and then that way, and now it should line up more or less vertical. We should nip up, I assume, because it's actually holding the radiator in place.
This is going to go somewhere around about there. So that means the pipe is going to be
measuring sticks. It's going to be, ooh, let's go 4 centimetres, massive. That I've got to go on there like that. Yeah. Snug. Yes, it was. So now we're going to make up the rest of the pipe, the long part. Yeah, this multi-capper is actually quite good. Only getting it to be straight from being rolled up is a bit of a pain. And certainly that little end bit there. Ah, the crimping tool. Now, fit the appropriately sized inserts and then crimp the joints. It's fair to say that after the kitchen, 2 bathrooms and about half a heating system, I am borderline pro with these things now. Certainly more so than I was at this juncture. Again, we've got the spring, and we're just going to put a little bend in that so it sits back against the wall. Get that out of the way again. Fit that together. Crimp that in place. Wow, we are definitely sure that that's all the right length and in the right place, aren't we? Back on the wall, valves connected up. We'll get you in there. There you go. Nip them up, and we are happy. Okay, so as you see, radiator's hung, pipework is connected, at least on this side. You can call me old-fashioned if you like, but I'm going to wait until there isn't sheet ice outside to drain the heating system, and that pretty much wraps up fitting the radiator in the kitchen video. For now, we'll do the hooking it into the system at a later date. That's it, when it's not freezing outside. So I'm going to have a good old clear out, cover the floor properly, go and buy some tape and paper and stuff, so I can give the ceiling and that wall one last coat of paint. Well, to be fair, around the door, it's first coats of paint. So I better shoot off to the Chinese shop before they shut. So thanks for watching, really appreciate it. Any thoughts, comments, stick them down below, and I'll see you very soon in the next one. Like I said, thanks for watching. If you are watching this and you've made it all the way to the end, what's wrong with you? But if you have, right, I did in the comments. If you're not first, right, me too. Just for my own personal amusement. And also to see who has actually watched the whole video. Can't wait to see the analytics for this. Average watch time of, I reckon 15 seconds tops. And the tracked video will probably outperform it regularly. There you go. Anyway, catch you on the next one.